Thanks, Emma. Sorry for the auto-advancing slides. Next, we have David Resseguie, who is of the Sensorpedia initiative at Oak Ridge National Laboratory. David?
Well, good evening. It's good to see you all here today. I want to talk to you a little bit about the work we're doing at Oak Ridge National Laboratory and Sensorpedia. To start out with, the concept really was born. We wanted to, we had a very simple goal. We wanted to bridge the gap between how we share information individually very effectively on sites like Facebook and Twitter and YouTube, but yet organizationally we still struggle with some of the most basic of interoperability challenges. In our particular case, that was information sharing and sensor data. So how do we bridge those gaps and pull those together and take advantage of the lessons learned from our personal lives for our organizational use? So we had the concept of a Wikipedia for sensors. So if you had a writable website where people could voluntarily submit their sensor data and contribute it, tag it, make it easy then for people to discover, search over that, and to use that in their own mashups and their own modeling and those types of things. So that was the original idea. As we started looking around, we saw that there actually were a number of people doing that already. So here are a few examples. The firefighters in particular have used a number of sites like Twitter, YouTube, and then some Google Maps mashups to share the status of their firefighting efforts. So in this case, the LA Fire Department Twitter's updates about addresses for where they're responding. They submitted videos from their helmet cameras and their vehicle cameras to YouTube, so people that are evacuating can still have an idea of what's going on back in their neighborhood, those types of things. But it's not just official channels. It also can be citizen submitted information observations like iReport, or who recognizes this picture, for example. Of course, so this was the plane landing in the Hudson. Do you know where the picture came from by chance? Most people don't. It was, right, it was a guy on the ferry with his iPhone, took a picture happening to be going by and sent it out over Twitter. And I saw it within 2 minutes sitting at my desk as it was being shared around over the social network. Now this is a very low resolution picture from a very unofficial channel, but there's a lot of information in this picture. How many people are there? Do we need special types of equipment for the rescue? Someone pointed out recently that you can tell the difference between first class and economy. First class has a raft, economy is standing on the water and the wings. So the question is, how do we take these types of things, or the principles from this that we can apply? We can't put all our enterprise data on Twitter and on Facebook. We can't do that for business reasons. I work a lot with Homeland Security and military applications. We can't do that. But are there concepts and technologies that we can pull out of these types of websites and apply them as we're designing our solutions? So that's the problem. That's the approach that we took working on Sensorpedia, and we named it. This makes sense for a guy from Tennessee like me. We paved the cow paths. So we want to look at where people are already going. What have developers already used? What has already been proven in the marketplace? And can we come along and just formalize how that's being used to show that if you want to use this in your enterprise, here are some key principles that you can pick up to do that. So what are those principles? Well, it's things like using a URL to reference a unique resource. So if you want to reference a video on YouTube, there's a URL that goes straight to that video. If you want to reference a photo on Flickr, there's a URL that goes straight to that photo. Let's do that with a lot of our resources. Let's allow tagging where people can have a bottom-up classification system. So I'm not developing a hierarchical top-down inflexible system up front that doesn't support dynamic requirements. Lots of these types of things that we can learn from these systems. So that's what we applied to Sensorpedia for sensor data sharing. Here are we're in a private beta right now, so I wanted to show you just a few screenshots of what it looks like and kind of where we're going. If you go to sensorpedia.com, you'll get our webpage here. You can sign up to be part of the beta. Once you log into the beta application, it really is a pretty straightforward mashup, a Google Maps type mashup. Users submit their sensor information. They can tag it. They can label it, add certain metadata, geotags to it. You can search on that, and then, of course, populate your map. Just to give you a few examples, here are some NOAA buoys from the Gulf of Mexico. If you then click on one of these points, you can then see the information that was submitted to the application. So you have summary, you have links, which is really provides that loose coupling, so I'm not putting a lot of requirements on your system. You're simply providing a link to that resource so I can connect to it directly as a consumer. And then if you have content, and this is an example from some traffic cameras in Charleston, you can actually embed, maybe the most recent or the most 10 recent observations from that sensor into this. So the key here is not so much this particular application. This is one that suited our needs well and our customers well. But the framework behind that really supports those concepts that we pulled from the Facebook and the Twitters and others so that we can have this Wikipedia, this place where if you want to share videos, you go to YouTube. If you want to share photos, you go to Flickr. If you want to share sensor information, you go to Sensorpedia. But you can also use it for your application, identify what it is you're trying to share, and apply these same principles. So, thank you.